has just sent out a survey that I believe is nothing more than a conversation with the devil. Find out what I mean on this segment of the Gig Geezer. First time visitor of the Gig Geezer, hey, thanks for coming by. If you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, hey, thanks for coming back. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. Now, why did I say that? Why did I say that DoorDash's survey is nothing more than a conversation with the devil? Well, I'll put it like this. First of all, I got a text message notification about clicking a link to checking out a DoorDash survey. I went into that link and saw a picture of the DoorDash offer screen. Now, I'd seen that before. In fact, this thumbnail is where I went into great detail about that new DoorDash offer screen as a part of a different update. And as best as I can recall, nobody liked that update. I mentioned that in that particular segment of the Gig Geezer that it could be a game changer. And I still believe that it could be a game changer. But DoorDash is trying to be slick. DoorDash has done things bass backwards, kind of like the devil. The devil does things bass backwards. Go out and commit the act, and then going to come back and ask questions about it. Well, now, I saw in my market this new offer screen for it debuted about a month ago. If memory serves me correct, almost a month ago. It appeared in my market for almost two weeks, and then in the last week or so, we began seeing the original offer screen. In fact, I've made a post of that on my Gig Geezer channel. What I find interesting is that DoorDash asks, "Have you seen this offer screen?" I'm like, hell yeah, I've seen that offer screen. In fact, I talked about it. But my other thought about it was DoorDash is being slick. I mean, really slick. Really, really, really slick. And I got to thinking, the devil tries to be slick. The devil tries to be slick in terms of omitting and distorting information. Now, according to DoorDash, it is now, with this mass emailing, it is now saying, easily see more offer details up front so you know exactly what to expect before you accept an order. Okay? As a Dasher, we know you want to be in control of how you earn. That is why we're testing out a new, easier to use offer screen to give you more order information up front. So you know exactly what to expect before you accept. Nice little consonants there. Expect and accept. See helpful guidance to complete specific orders more clearly, like if it's stacked or batched, or if you need a red card. Plus, view new details like the estimated time it'll take you to complete the delivery. It's saying that it's giving you more upfront information. All right. You see the new design. It looks all clean, somewhat maybe easier to read. But then if you're familiar with DoorDash and you've been doing this for a while, you start looking. You look at the old screen, you look at the new screen, and then you ask yourself, what's missing? What is missing is item count. So how are you getting all the upfront information when you are not getting the item count? It says the amount guaranteed, but that's nothing more than the guaranteed minimum that the order is going to pay. Okay? We all know with DoorDash that it does not give you upfront exactly what you make. That is something that you see on Grubhub or Waiter/Bike Squad, or otherwise known as ASAP. Even with Uber Eats, you see what is likely to be the total payout, but you don't know the exact payout on Uber Eats until an hour after after you've completed delivering the order. That is because the customer can either increase the tip or decrease the tip. But this is DoorDash, okay? And the fact is that you do not have all the upfront information. Here's where I get into talking about the devil. the devil omits, distorts, and withholds information so that it can control you. This is nothing more than what DoorDash is doing. What it's trying to do in its greater scheme of things, while it is all about delivering orders and making money, what it's trying to do is control your thinking, steer your thinking in such a way that it actually meshes, coincides with the artificial intelligence and machine learning. I've talked a lot about artificial intelligence and machine learning, and this particular thumbnail is where I talk about the DoorDash algorithm. And a lot of other folk have talked about the algorithm as well. The algorithm, you do not negotiate with the algorithm, but I understand why that content creator said what he said. The algorithm anticipates your moves. It has gathered so much data about you that it understands your tendencies. And so from time to time, the algorithm is going to put something out there based on your tendencies. Okay. And the actual computation of this is through machine learning. Machine learning is the complex mathematical computations to predict these things. Imagine with the algorithm, like when you go on Amazon or Facebook, once you go on there, it begins and you actually buy something, it'll start sending you emails, or it'll start kind of showing offers of things, of products that you previously purchased, because it's trying to anticipate something. It's trying to direct you into getting something else, or it'll get you to try to get related items, something else that it may anticipate or guess that you may try to buy. The same thing with DoorDash. That is why there's been so much talk about, rightly or wrongly, about drivers with the accept more, earn more. The more orders that you accept, the more data DoorDash gathers on you. DoorDash gathers more data on you so that it can anticipate your next move. It can kind of predict to you what orders you should accept, as opposed to you deciding for yourself what orders you should accept. And I've shared that before in this particular segment of the Gig Use. I just made a quick mention of it. To be a true independent contractor, you should not allow these app platforms to dictate to you what you should choose or not choose. That is the thing that you should be able to do. In fact, when you withhold information, you control one's thinking. Now, I'm going to give you a quick story of how someone tried to withhold information from me, and it could have had things gone a different way. I may not even be where I'm at in life at this point in life. I may not have gone the path professionally had I not. When I went back to school at Texas Southern University back in the mid 1980s, I had an opportunity through my uncle, who used his connections in the athletic department, to get me basically into Texas Southern. At least at that time, Texas Southern was also open enrollment. So really, all you had to do was show proof that you had finished high school or gotten a GED, maybe even taken a standardized test, and you were in. Then it was up to you to finish school. Well, I'd been out of school for almost 3 years when I got that opportunity to go back to school, in part using athletic department money. Well, the person whom I would be dealing with directly, he tried to do everything he could to control me. He tried to withhold information from me. He tried to make as if that he was the key to which my future lies, and that basically whatever he says went, and that my future at Texas Southern would be pretty much predicated upon him. I didn't like what I was hearing, and I had gotten so disgusted that I was ready to actually go back to where I was in the hood. And I had nothing. In fact, when I went back to Texas Southern, I had nothing to go back to. When I left for Texas Southern, I left with $100 in my pocket, and basically everything I could own in both hands. Well, one particular afternoon, I went by the Student Life Center, and I spoke with an older, bow-legged lady named Miss Freddie Guest. Miss Freddie Guest told me I didn't have to put up with that. Miss Freddie Guest told me that was a work-study job, meaning that I could work anywhere on campus so long as they had an opening, because the monies that I would be paid was through the Pell Grant and other monies that was afforded to me already. Had it not been for Miss Freddie Guest, I may have quit in my first semester at Texas Southern. I never had a chance to go back to thank Miss Freddie Guest, but as often as I can, I always tell the story about Miss Freddie Guest and how she opened my eyes to the options that I had. And that's the whole thing about being an independent contractor. You have options, man. When DoorDash pulls shit like this, it's not creating options for you. It is actually limiting your options. It is actually trying to dictate to you what path that you should go. So that's the whole point with this segment of the Gig Geezer. At the end of all this is a survey. And I'll tell you up front, I urge you to mark strongly disagree with every single question, and then give your reasons why you disagree with this, why you believe that, hey, it's withholding information from you. It is not giving you upfront information. This is nothing more than control. This is nothing, you can call it the devil for all you, and the hope is that if there's enough people who fill out this survey, it may actually affect DoorDash from actually putting this into effect all the way around. But again, DoorDash has already done this backwards. It had already introduced this to a lot of folk already. So we already know what this is about. This is for people who have not seen this before, new people who are just coming on to DoorDash. This is for people who have not paid attention to what's going on. And so that's all I have to share for this segment of the Gig Geezer. If you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane, and as always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.